never thought I'd hear myself say this at this time of year, but I think the vegetables have got away from us. We have not been able to harvest quick enough, and so today I'm going to do just that, because some things are urgently needing to be harvested. Now I'm going to attempt to close this door without it banging. We have got a very windy day. Could rain at any time, and I don't have a proper door closure, so I'm improvising. Yeah, the Y bed. Check it out. So I've bought out a big basket today to collect some greens, because some of them are trying to go to seed, which is no good. They're still edible at this stage, so I'm going to cut them. This is going to open up the space in the garden and enable me to give some of the other plants some room. And it's just started raining. Take two. And I forgot what "and" was. Now I've had to go back into the house for a good hour until this blows over and get back out here. But I think what I was saying was opening up the space and allowing the other plants to grow bigger. So I tend to overplant deliberately, because I want as much variation in the garden as I can for the microorganisms in the soil, and I want as much of the soil or the area where you plant in covered, so I don't like it exposed to the elements, and I'm looking after the life within the soil. So that's what I've done here. So I have got some wombok here, and I will show you where it's at, and I'm going to cut all that out. I can eat it like this, and we're just going to have to process some of this food and deal with it now, because it really can't stay in here any longer. So my now very wet basket, I will pop down here. I'm just going to use a knife and cut these down, right down the bottom. And this was the worst one as far as bug damage. You can see they've had a good crack at that. I'll probably give a bit of this to the chickens. Not that there's anything wrong with holes in the foliage, but I can't actually see anything inside it. But here we are here. So it's going to seed. That hasn't opened yet, but all of that is still okay to use. So we will cut these out, and you can see the leaves underneath are yellowing and are most affected by the pests, because the pests will go for the dying debris, the dying parts of the plants or sick parts of plants, before it goes for the healthy parts of the plants that are full of the sugar, which a lot of pests can't digest. So this is the failing parts of the plants, fortunately what they go for first. I really do enjoy this type of cabbage. It's nice as a salad green as well as cooked, and unlike, I don't really eat cabbage as salad green, I always cook it. But here's our pests right there. That's what's getting in, the slugs. So we will, I'm just off camera, deal with that slug. This one's tiny. This one didn't get much light, so this one's tiny weeny. And is that all of them in there? Oh, there's a little baby one. I might just leave that to grow on to see. I'll just leave that. Now I've got some lettuce under there that can expand out a bit. The kale's got a bit more room. And the beetroot have a little bit more room too. And that's what we got out of that. So still a bit of food, even though it wasn't totally successful, that lot. Now over here I think we have a visitor over here, because the centre of these had been eaten right down, and it looked, the little marks looked like mouse marks to me. So they are being attacked. So I have to set some stuff for the mice to deal with those. And at the back here, again, we've got more of the Chinese cabbage going to seed there. Over here, there's some there, so I'll cut these out. I think these are a different variety though. I don't know what they are, but I lost my tags. They wore off, and so I end up not knowing exactly what I planted, but I'll cut them out. Up the back there, I've got some Chinese broccoli, and I've harvested some of that, and the rest of it has taken off. Now it's funny because we had rain last night after not much for a while, and I'm always fascinated with the amount of speed that particularly leafy greens get after rain, that the nitrogen fixing, or whatever, you know, the stuff that's in rainwater, and your plants just go boom and they grow rapidly after a rain. And these have just done exactly that. My collards have really beefed up the past couple of days, and particularly that one at the back that has graduated from being baby stage to teenager, and it has got a lot bigger. So it's not going to hurt to take some of these plants out anyhow and give this more room. And one thing that's very easy to do is to become a collector. So when we start growing, well, some of us, myself, I can say this for myself, tend to collect the seeds, and you get excited about having the things, and then you plant it up, it gets growing, and you don't want to cut them. You don't want to harvest it because it's looking so wonderful and lush. But that's why we're growing them, aren't we? We're growing them to eat and to cut. So we will cut these and turn them into what they're intended. I cut these earlier and they've just grown like side shoots. So these are a different sort of cabbage. They kind of grow like the Chinese broccoli with new stems. Speaking of which, I will cut some of that as well, because this one has given me a second stem. And more broccoli to eat. I'm keeping an eye on the thickness of these, but I won't. There's some more here that I can harvest, but because I have to deal with what I've just cut first, and that's quite a lot of food for us, I will just leave it. It's a little bit of food for the chooks. A couple of broken leaves that I'll grab while I'm here. Trim, because they're starting to get old, and that's what attracts the slugs. I'll just take them off and give them to the chooks. Now it looks like after all the drama with those broad beans here, we're getting flowers, and it looks like I will be getting broad beans from that. So it was worth persevering. All the leaves, you see, are looking much better. So got some grass that we've managed to get in there when we're not looking. But yeah, looks like that was worth persisting and working with that. And this will have to go next. I'm not going to pick this now because I tried to take everything fresh as I can. So all this spinach needs to be picked as well. So that will be next, the next thing we probably eat. And I'll pick a little bit of kale and a few. We are still eating a lot of the lettuce. There's heaps of lettuce at the moment for us. And beetroot leaves, we can pop some beetroot leaves in with the lettuce. And there's always spring onions. Dotted around the place, there's one in this pot that's been harvested, but that's endive. There's some in the garden, just in random spots on the other side of this cage. Over there near the ginger, there is some endive there as well amongst the area I need to weed. But you'll see over here, lots of lettuce, tons of lettuce. So we're alternating between the cold salads and the cooked veggies. Lots of kale there. My husband's not all that keen on kale in general, the curly kale or the shop kale. But we're going to try these. And I've eaten this before and I find it just a little bit, it's a different taste in my opinion. It's a lot milder in taste and more towards the lettuce. So I'll be picking that and see how we go with that. And of course all the lettuce in there, and underneath all the broccoli that I have now picked. All the heads are gone off there, but we still have some plants developing. Let me find them. I saw them yesterday. Oh, they're actually so small they're being covered by little water drops, but there's little heads developing on some of these. So I'm going to watch them, but also watch that they do grow, because if the plant's just going to age without the sprouts coming, what I want to do is grab these first. So I'll take all the leaves and I'll probably dehydrate those and make some nice healthy green vegetable powder out of that. And there's lots of lettuce under there that we can be harvesting. And celery. Got celery here too. The celery, I've started to pick that bit by bit, just as we need. But we've got the celery growing too. We're just waiting on the peas and snow peas. They've been developing pods, but I'm watching that they're staying on the plant and they're not actually being eaten. So I've got some purple pods up the back, right up there. Let's see if I can get this up. There's some there up the back. But I'm not seeing the pods after the flowers too much. So I'm wondering if they're not pollinated or something is actually nibbling on those too. But I'm keeping an eye on them. But that's our little harvesting video for today. I hope you enjoyed that and seeing what's possible in a very small space. And I hope you have got some nice, beautiful, wholesome, nutritious greens growing in your place. Otherwise, if you haven't, they're so easy to grow even in containers. And especially the things like the kale and the collards and things that keep growing or are perennial, or biennial, they will keep giving you food for a long time. Silver beet, chard, Swiss chard, same thing, that sort of thing. They will give you a lot of food for a long time. And your spring onions and that, you keep just chopping the tops of those and not actually harvesting them, and you'll just have them like forever. So this is what we managed to get today. Big basket of greens, ready for the kitchen. So my girls are making a lot of noise, saying, hey, let us out. But if you haven't liked, subscribed, and say hello in the comments. Let me know how you're going in your garden. But if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. It helps my channel, and I appreciate you immensely for doing that. I will catch you next time. Bye for now. Hello, impatient one. Where'd you come? Hello, girls. Hello, girls. Come on, darling. Come on. You're always lagging behind. So I have to check the fences because, silly me, I did a bad thing. Every now and then I do a bad thing, and I didn't shut this gate here the other day, and I let them out from the top, like leaning across the fence to let them out. This was open, and I had this feeling I should put the chooks away a bit earlier today, and they've been out for a couple of hours, and I usually let them out for a lot longer. And I thought, no, I'll put it away. The weather's getting a bit sour. I'll put them away. And when I came in here, they were actually inside the fence, so I didn't have to round them up, thankfully. But they had been out and they dug holes. And I panicked. I thought, oh no, I've got so many new baby plants that they could just consume or dig up. But I didn't have too much damage. I had a little bit, but not too much. But they really got stuck into the New Zealand spinach. Just outside the cage, but I was grateful that they were inside the cage because they're so hard to round up. They're not easy to catch, my chooks. So yes, gate is shut. And look at these have come up overnight. Just a bit of rainwater, and I'm not sure what kind of fungus they are, but I know it means the soil's happy. But yeah, just overnight, so many plants and fungi and everything just grow so rapidly when it's rained.